Hey, it's Bryan.
Hey, it's Barry.
And welcome to the Collecti-Bros podcast. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If not, y'all know the drill. But if you're new, this is a video game collecting podcast that focuses on the collecting side of things. And yeah, it's a podcast. It might be a little long. But you joined us for another episode of our mainline series, Is It Worth It? Where we take a look at 5 major points of a game. We look at the story, the graphics, the gameplay, the sound and the music, also the price and collectability. And then we ask the ultimate question and the goddamn name of the show, Is It Worth It? If that sounds cool or interesting, check us out wherever you guys get podcasts at, or check us out on the YouTube. If you want to chat with us in Discord where we can talk shop and you can show us your game hauls, invite link is in the show notes, and if you're on YouTube, it's on the screen now. But hey, I kind of want to get to the point, you know what I mean? I don't want to get yelled at again. So today's topic...
I don't know if you got yelled at. Maybe it was me.
It was a collective thing. It's our show. You never called us out. Yeah, still talking about it. It's fine. Welcome to a podcast, buddy. Anyway.
You made it on the show. Congratulations.
Yeah, dude, twice. Shout out. Mega fan. Thanks for the engagement, pal. Yeah, but today's episode is a Bloody Roar Extreme on the original Xbox. The main reason why I picked this game is because I'm an original Xbox advocate. It's my favorite console. And this is one I don't see talked about too often. Truthfully, there's not a lot of deep dive material on YouTube, or there's like gameplay walkthroughs and stuff, but I just don't see a lot about this game, and it's kind of gone up in price over the years. So I'm like, this might be an interesting one to end the year with. And yeah, we usually pick a fighting game at the end of the year just because holiday time and stuff, you know, it's kind of easier on both of us. But here we are, Bloody Roar Extreme. This game is a 3D fighting game developed by Aiding, and it was published by Hudson Soft, The Bee, if you're familiar with The Bee, Kings of the NES era.
The Bee!
Oh, The Bee! But yeah, this game was released May 27, 2003 in the United States, and then later in July in Japan and November in the PAL regions. This was actually the first game of the Bloody Roar series to be released in the North American market before the Japanese one, and it also does not have an arcade version, which is kind of wild, but the main reason why for that is because this is basically an expanded / updated version of the GameCube title that came out a previous year before called Bloody Roar Primal Fury. I mistakenly was talking about the last episode why I wanted to pick this game. That's the only one I've ever played. Yeah, I didn't know that this was like a updated version of that game. So that was a little surprising when I booted it up and was like, this seems very familiar. So yeah, I lied to y'all last episode. My bad. We do have some nonsense with the title. I feel like I'm good at picking these unknowingly. I had the crazy Bubble Bobble fiasco, but this one's got a little bit of crazy. It's not as much as a rabbit hole, so don't freak out. But this game in Japan and Europe, so the Primal Fury for GameCube, that one's called Bloody Roar Extreme in Japan and Europe. But here in the States, it released as Primal Fury, obviously. And then when they made this game to the Xbox version, they released it as Extreme to kind of match that worldwide release for the other consoles. So there is other versions. There's a PAL version, a Japanese version of this game on Xbox. It's Bloody Roar Extreme also, but it is this game, the expanded version on the Xbox. Let's make it more confusing, right? This is the 4th entry for Bloody Roar. This is not Bloody Roar 4. That's a different game that came out later on the PS2. So don't get it twisted. But hey, Bloody Roar Extreme, Xbox, that's the easiest way to remember it. This is the only one on the Xbox, okay? Easiest way to remember it. Development for this game started almost immediately after Bloody Roar 3 launched. Kenji Fukaya, who's like Bloody Roar's daddy, he's actually worked on every single entry in this series, which is actually pretty cool because that doesn't happen too often anymore. You know, back then they really took pride in that shit and they stayed under the wing, and he guided this series to fruition. So it's a dead franchise that Konami owns now and they're not doing anything with. So I'm sure we'll get like a pachinko machine or something before they ever reboot this shit. But
All right, look. Bloody Roar reboot. Konami, listen to me. Ready? Bloody Roar Persona Fury. Come on.
Bro, y'all don't like money, Konami? Come on.
It would sell so well.
All I'm saying.
Make your own persona.
I'm not going to disagree with you at all.
Please,
that's the thing.
my knees, begging.
If you had like a badass character creation, you make your own and you go against other people.
Oh my
and
god,
shit.
it would be awesome.
Come on now. Y'all don't like money, Konami?
Bro, look, Furries have money. How do you think that? Do you know how expensive those fursuits are?
For real.
They're expensive. They will buy your game.
But yeah, development for this game. His vision for this game was like obviously make it enhanced with the more powerful hardware. He wanted to utilize the Hyper Beast function that was previously seen in Bloody Roar 3 and kind of take that to the next level. Push the graphics obviously with the Xbox, but also, which I think is a really cool and admirable thing they wanted to do, was make this game the most accessible version of the game possible. So one of the knocks on the other Bloody Roar games is that you had to push like 2 buttons at the same time to do combos. They were like, hey, let's make the control scheme for this game like very simplistic. There's punch, there's kick, there's not high punch, high kick. You don't have to do 2 buttons at once. It's all very like input based. And that was by design. How do you get new players to play if it's hard and you had to master shit from years ago? This is the easiest way to get people on board. Just like make it accessible. What a foreign concept, right? There's also things he wanted to do like he knew it was going to skip the arcade, so he actually wanted to really focus on like using the analog controller for the Xbox, which I don't know why. It's a pretty standard analog stick. There's nothing special about it. But there's like analog forgiveness if you mess up the actual input using the analog stick. I never use the analog stick because I'm normal. I just use the D-pad. Like it didn't bother me. But that's one of the things they wanted to focus on is like user-friendliness and accessibility and letting you pull off these special moves like easily. There are some additions to the Xbox version, and honestly, in my opinion, there's a pretty big redaction that you're going to notice as soon as you start the game. The original game opened with this like beautiful, badass, like anime-style cutscene, and the Xbox version, they wanted to show off the graphics, so they made it CG. And like, it's not a horrible... It's not like it's, Polygon 64, PS1 bullshit. Like, it looks serviceable for what it is. But, man, that anime intro was really fucking cool, man. There's also light gameplay changes on the Xbox version of this game. On the GameCube, you could sidestep and dodge the enemy, but they didn't want to do that. Like, they give you a block button. They wanted you to use the block button so you're not just, like, cheesing it or whatever. So that was kind of cool. Also, they fixed all the glitches. I guess one of the, like, notorious ones on Bloody Roar Extreme that's why this game isn't big in the fighting game community is like Yugo is one of the main characters everybody uses, right? But he's like a counterpuncher, he's a boxer. If you're like low health with somebody and you hit him with a certain move that like counterpunches, you both die. So like it automatically goes into a draw. So they fixed that one. That was like super notorious, I guess. So like this is the cleanest, meanest, leanest version of this game available. I think we got any homework out of the way if you want to deep dive into this incredible, amazing story. The story. Man, the story. So, like, fighting game stories, and this is my personal opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but, like, I don't think there's a ton of series out there that have like incredible stories when it comes to fight. There's some outliers for sure. Like Soul Calibur I think is really interesting how they connect the lore through the games, but admittedly I'm not familiar with like the Bloody Roar lore. I know when you're playing the game it usually gives you like character bios and stuff. There's none of that in here. You get a scrolling text kind of like Star Wars style when you start the arcade mode in this game, and that's what I've got here. Because the manual is the same way. It doesn't really give you a lot of meat on the bone. It's just basically like, here's the universe that they exist in. This is why they're fighting, right? And it's kind of trope heavy. In my opinion for this game, it's X-Men with furries. It really is like furry X-Men, bro. The scrolling text basically, I'm not going to read it word for word because that's boring as fuck. But to summarize it, the Xanthropes is what they're called, the people that transform into animals, right? This is what...
Zoanthrope.
Zoanthrope? Okay, my apologies.
Zoan.
Yes, Zohan.
Zoanthrope.
The Zoanthropes. Yeah,
don't add extra letters. They're going to whoop your ass.
That's true. All 40,000 Bloody Roar fans. But, no, man, they basically want to start their own island because, like, obviously humans are scared of them because they turn into, like, wolves and shit, which, I mean, it's terrifying if you don't know what's going on. They want to start their own kingdom, and basically everyone's scared of them because of, like, their fighting abilities and how they make monies, like, their mercenary groups and shit. Like, they beat ass, so people are like, hey, these dudes turn to wolves and shit, and they fight. Like, what do we do with them? In order to, like, kind of divert attention off of that, and there's a bunch of rumors going around that they're like conducting experiments on their own people in this kingdom. The king ends up starting a fighting tournament, which, God, shocker, every fighting game, I feel like, right? But yeah, the winner gets crowned the Zonothrope champion, and you also get to take home, I quote, a handsome cash prize. But yeah, obviously not everybody's in there just to win the money or the crown. There's a bunch of people that are like, journalists and shit that are trying to like find their own reasons, like what's going on with the experiments, and everybody's got their own motives that the actual game itself tells you nothing about. You were able to find like a little bit of information, like the strategy guide, right?
Oh, I don't even know. Like, I just tried to find anything, and there's like snippets of backstory in the Brady Games guide. I don't know if if Prima had one.
Right.
But I found some scans of the Brady Games Bloody Roar. Actually, you know what? Let me double check. Bloody Roar Extreme. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was the Bloody Roar Primal Fury guide. It wasn't even Extreme. And I looked at that one because it's the same game,
right?
It has some information about the character. Like, it's a whole section of characters. And it's got a little bit of a backstory and like what they like about them. But it didn't really talk about anything in the Primal Rage, good God.
Primal Rage had more story, bro.
It didn't specifically mention anything about the Primal Fury specific story or Extreme specific story. It was just like, it was the beginning. The introduction is like the scrolling text in the game. Mm-hmm. Like, they just put the scrolling text in the game inside of the guide and then added some shit about the characters.
Right. I mean,
about like the characters in the universe. It wasn't even about the specific games. I keep trying to find anything about the characters and the story in Primal Fury and Extreme specifically, but I don't know where these people are getting this information. Like, is it from manga? Is it from like extra materials? Like, where is the story? Are you guys inferring something of the brief 2 cutscenes that we get, or what?
Right, because there's like a Primal or a Bloody Roar wiki out there that's like more information, but I'm like, this shit's not in the game, so like I don't feel comfortable being like, oh yeah, this is what's happening,
Yeah, like I've been reading the wiki and then like trying to find like where that information is from with like cross research, but I can't find it.
Dude, this is the thing. And so if y'all have listened to past episodes, there's times where we turn, nothing into something, but this one's tough, man. There's just not a lot of ingredients here to work with. There was one, where was it? I was reading all of them on the wiki, and it was Jenny, the bat. Okay. Oh, yeah. I went to the fucking Primal Fury Extreme, and it reads like goddamn fan fiction. It probably is.
I'm going to read what the wiki says to you. It's the first 3 sentences. Okay. Jenny finishes her shower. As usual, the water is nearly hot enough for her to scald her skin, but she doesn't mind. Many times, she admires her nude body and compares it to that of the glittering night sky.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not joking, dude. So, like, who wrote this? Where did you get this from? It's got it. Like, I know I can click on this and I can just edit it. Like, I can make an account and just edit shit on here. But, like, where did this information come from? Where did you guys, like, think this up?
Oh, my God. What the fuck?
There's no information references on here. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, because the intro cutscene, it shows her get out of the shower with, like, a towel or whatever. The guy inferred all that from that intro cutscene. Come on, man.
I don't know. I mean, like, the intro cutscene, like, the CG version, she's holding like a wine glass.
Oh, yeah.
And she comes out without like a towel on her head, but she's wearing just a towel like wrapped around her torso. And then the animated one, she doesn't have the wine glass. She just pulls the like towel off of her hair, and then it cuts to like looking at the night sky. So they've like changed them a little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing about that shows her like taking the towel off and like looking at her in the mirror.
Bro, I think we stumbled onto a fan fiction form. That's wild, dude. That's so fucking funny.
I'm going to fanfiction.net.
Yeah, hold on a second. Sure it's there, dude. But yeah, really at the end of the day, it's just a fighting tournament that they're trying to like prove who's the strongest one. They're trying to use that basically to get the heat off of them for doing their experiments, right? Because like basically the king is trying to do experiments on the prince who, here's my fan fiction, right? So the last two bosses you fight in like typical fighting game fashion, it's always the same two opponents unless you pick the prince, right? The first guy is like an elephant guy. He's like the general of the army, so that's why he's there.
No, that's the tiger.
Oh,
or the lion.
Yeah, he's the mercenary leader. My bad.
No, the lion.
I don't want them
Gado.
Oh, you're right. I don't want them coming at me.
Gado the
bad.
lion.
Yeah, the elephant guy is always the second to last guy you fight. I guess I don't know.
No, it's not.
He's not.
No,
he
I
was
don't
for me
think
almost
he was
every
in
fucking
mine.
time, except for him. Like, I didn't fucking get there with him. But
I honestly don't remember. I did fight him, but I don't remember if he was second to last.
Almost every time for me. But you might be right. It's all nonsense anyway, the story. But the last
True.
guy you do fight, unless you are him, is the prince. I don't remember his fucking name. Oh, god damn it.
Kronos.
Thank you, Jesus Christ, Kronos. But yeah, he's a fucking penguin, like surfs up penguin with like the spaghetti hair. You know what I'm talking about? The penguins that have like the yellow spaghetti stuck to their head. That's what he is.
So you messaged me and was like, dude, the final boss is a penguin. So I'm sitting there like playing through this game and I get to Koryu. Because like normally when you play fighting games, once you hit a stage where it's a character that like isn't in the roster, that's probably the boss, right?
Right.
So I hit Koryu, which is like the robot guy, and I'm like, oh, this has got to be what Bryan's talking about. And then he transforms into a robot mole, and I'm like, okay, it's not him. So then I get to Kronos, and I already knew who Kronos was because in Extreme, he's one of the characters that you just get. You don't have to unlock him.
Yeah.
Because in the original Primal Fury, you have to beat arcade mode, I think, twice in order to get him unlockable. But in this one, he just comes that way. Him and Ganesha, the elephant guy. So in the roster, I already saw him. I was like, oh, Kronos is a phoenix, right? So I'm playing him in that match, and he beast transforms into the phoenix and starts laying it on me. He's kicking my ass, and I beat him, and then the arcade mode ends, and I'm like, what the fucking penguin is Bryan talking about? What? And I texted you. I was like, I beat the arcade mode. Where's the penguin?
Right.
I was so confused because I never fought a penguin. I was like, I fought the phoenix guy, you know?
Right.
So I was like, okay, let me go play survival mode because maybe I'll like try and sit there long enough to get the other unlockable character. So I was like, oh, let me try Kronos because he whooped my ass. He seems cool. So I beast transform into him, and he's a freaking little penguin. And I said, what the fuck happened? What?
But you were like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. Why
I was so confused. So like in my playthrough when I played him, he just already got the hyper beast mode and transformed straight to hyper beast, and that was the only character that has two beast modes. His normal one's the penguin, and then his other one was the phoenix.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out what, I think it's a rock hopper penguin.
Is that what they're called, the spaghetti hair boys?
Yeah, they're like spaghetti eyebrows.
Yep.
Yeah, a rock hopper penguin is what he is.
Nice.
So I was just like, oh, and then I realized in the story, like, he's the one that was experimented on to become even more strong of a beast. So like he gets an upgraded version, which is the phoenix.
Right. I think
and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I was like, what the fuck you mean a penguin?
Dude, my fan fiction is dad was like, man, my son's a penguin. Like, I gotta make him stronger. So he like experimented on him and turned him into the phoenix. That's my fucking bloody roar fan
I know,
fiction.
he was like, my fucking bitch ass is a penguin.
He's like, not even a big emperor penguin. He's the spaghetti penguin. What's the baby penguin that's like giant? What was his name in the zoo? Oh, fuck.
Oh, I forgot his name.
It was like pistachio or something, isn't it?
Giant baby penguin. Pesto.
Pesto. Yeah, you couldn't even turn the
pesto.
pesto, bro. Like, pesto's the least giant. You got stuck with the spaghetti hair boy. And it's really funny because, like, when I was playing him, he turned into a penguin first, and I was like, the boss is a penguin? What the fuck? I'll put the footage up now. He does this move where he, like, basically does, like, a surf against the wall where he's, like, surfing on ice. And it reminded me of that animated movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it, like Surf's Up, where it's about like surfing penguins. And I'm like, Is that where they got the idea from? Like, because this game came out like 3 or 4 years before that movie. So there's more fan fiction for you. That's my fan fiction.
No, so they released a 2001. The Bloody Roar official Japanese site launched a poll, and they were asking fans what beast form they wanted to see. And so number 1 was a dragon. Number 2 were birds, so hawks, eagles, stuff like that. Number 3 was the 4 sacred beasts, and then number 4 was penguins.
Crazy.
So, like, it wasn't out of nowhere.
Right. That's so wild, man. I get the hawks and shit. Like, they're badass. I've seen, like, eagles catch fish next to me when I'm fishing, and it's insane every time. Penguin, though? Come on, man. But, yeah, at the end of the day, the story for this game, it's fucking nonsense, man. Like, I don't really care about the story for this game. It's hard to, like, knock fighting games when they have, like, no filler stories. 'Cause that's not why you're there to play a fighting game, right? I do think there's ways, like, I don't want to talk about another series, but like Tekken, it's a good job of like, there's a theme that's the story, right? The theme's like the generation of hatred between like a father and a son to the next generation and like the cycle being broken. And there's still a fighting tournament and shit, sure, but sometimes like less is more in a story, man. You don't have to sit there and make it this epic fucking thing. Like, you ain't X-Men, brother. Like, let's be honest. You ain't X-Men.
I would be fine with the story. And what was the other game we played where I had the same problem? We did another one this year
recently,
like this.
Yeah. Shit. Let me look.
Oh, I can't remember anything past like 2 days.
It's that time of year. Let me look.
Oh, it was Godzilla.
Yep.
It was another fighting game.
Yeah, there you go. Imagine that.
Like, I don't have a problem with fighting games having a story. I'll say it again, but like, you need to put something in there. Like, there were some unlockable modes in this game. Like, once you beat it X amount of times, you'd get more modes. And once you beat the arcade once, you got the movie mode or whatever, where you can go back and like watch the cutscenes.
Yeah.
But like, why are we not unlocking like character bios? Like, why is there not a section for me to go and look at the character and be like, oh, I like the fucking Lion Man, let me go like read his bio and like unlock more information and like artwork?
Right.
Like, what the fuck, you know? Like, that's fine if I don't have the story like straight into the arcade mode, because only one of the Bloody Roar games has a story, like an actual dedicated story mode. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, all the fighting games are always like you play in arcade mode with one character, and it goes through like what the situation, tournament, blah 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 would be like with that character. But not having anything outside of the arcade mode, and then the only information we get from the arcade mode is like the 2-second long ending that doesn't make any sense because it's completely out of context. So I'm just like, put some bios in the game. I don't know,
like every other fucking fighting game ever.
Or even like there's just no unlockables in this game either.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you get a couple characters, you get some cheats, which I'm like, okay, the cheats aren't really fun ones. Like, there's kid mode, big head mode, and slow mode. I'm like, okay, I can do without, man.
Yeah, we get stuff like weak walls, speed things up. Koryu's a unlockable character. What's her name? Uranus is an unlockable character. Human mode. Like, you have to do complete arcade mode X amount of times to like get this stuff, but it's also like, why am I not getting, you know, like, why can't it be like survival mode, and it's like beat 5 stages of survival mode with fucking, what's the main guy's name? I just had it.
The wolf. Let me scroll.
Yugo.
Yep.
That's it. I was like, oh, beat survival mode stage 5 with Yugo and get like the artwork, and beat stage 10 and get like whatever, and then beat stage 15 and get like alternate color skin or something.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's, you know,
This game seems lazy to me.
Yeah, there's definitely some things in that regard where the story, you know, I think front and center is like, let's just get something on paper and get it out there. But there is some other things I think we can dig to, some positives and negatives. Let's talk about the gameplay. gameplay, like we said previously, this is a 3D fighting game. You can walk around the enemy, kind of think of like Soul Calibur, but nowhere near as smooth. This game does do a couple things differently than other fighters out there. Obviously, the main gimmick is you can turn into a beast. It's a single button press. Once you fill up a meter, you can push the B button and you turn into an animal based on which character you are. The animals, it does do different things. So you do more damage. You have like a slightly modified move set, and you can heal your health bar. So if you'll get your health bar, you have like a green bar and a blue bar as your main health. And if your blue is basically that you can recover back as a beast. So there's a little bit of strategy into it. Like, you don't want to just turn into a beast right off the bat. You want to kind of save it for when you need to, or if the enemy does, so you can heal a little bit. I think it's a pretty cool little gimmick. It could have been implemented in a way where it's like, oh, here's just an alternate fighting stance or whatever. But they made like the gameplay of turning into a beast actually matter and have some strategy, right? Like, A, you've got to fill the meter up in the first place, but B, you've got to use it sparingly. So like if you go 3 rounds and you've already burnt your beast meter, you're going to have to fight as a human that 3rd round. So there is...
I mean, you don't have to fill the meter up, though.
Yeah.
You can just go into beast form.
Right, but it doesn't last as long if the meter's not full. That's true. And then, go ahead.
Well, even then, like, you can just go into hyper beast form and it's permanent.
Yeah, but the hyper beast, if you do it without filling up the hyper beast meter, you take damage. So like...
I mean, you take a little bit, but you just stay as a beast the whole time. And it doesn't take up much. Like, if I choose to go, because it's a separate button, if I choose to go hyper beast form without having the gauge full, I just take some damage and then I just wail on him as a big beefy beast. Like, there wasn't really a reason for me to like not go like straight into beast mode, especially with just like, I don't know, the difficulty of this game was pretty low. So I was like, okay, I'm already like whacking on these guys as a human. I don't really care that much. Let me just go straight into hyper beast mode from the fucking get-go and then just go ham. And I just go ham.
See, I'll agree with you, the difficulty being low all the way up until about stage 6. So like every time I played it up until like stage 6, that's where like the ramp up was, and oh my fucking god, like did it ramp up for me. Like there was times where
I don't know, we played a whole different game, but
dude, there was times for me.
I lost one. I actually changed my game to 1 round. So my arcade mode, I just changed it to 1 round and I could move on, and I only lost twice. I lost twice through all of the times I played the game.
Damn.
Because I went through each character and I played the first 2 rounds, or first 2 matches with 2 rounds to win, right? I only lost against the fucking cat girl, whatever her name was. She whipped my butt.
Yeah, she's Yuriko the Half Beast. But yeah.
Yeah, I lost once against her, and then I lost once against Elephant Guy. But like outside of that, everybody was pretty easy.
I mean, yeah, really early on, everybody was easy for me. But dude, I could fill this whole episode with footage of me just getting fucking stomped by the Elephant Guy. And
that's crazy. Because I mean, like the only thing that really changed for me at the later stages is they just learned how to guard. That was it. They learned what the guard button was. It wasn't like we're cracking out professional, tournament level combos. They chained their combos a little bit better, and they learned the guard button, but I don't know. Maybe you just got to get good, Bryan.
Maybe. There's some characters where I could whip some ass with. I think it was like, very character specific. But no, there's some characters I was decent with. Like this Elephant Guy is a perfect example. Like there's one time I fought him, he literally did 3 hyper moves in a row where he's like doing this crazy wrestling, like spinning pile driver, like seated, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's like those 3 hits kill you. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe that's just a fluke time, whatever, run it back. And he got my ass again. Like, he was really bad about it, but the worst one was when you pick Kronos and you fight the secret boss, Uranus. Dude, I could fill 30 minutes of gameplay footage here of her just whooping me. I tried for 30 minutes to beat her, and it was just so fucking cheap, bro. Like,
I just didn't want to play survival for 16 matches.
Yeah. No, dude,
it's the only reason I didn't do it.
You're going to crack the fuck up when you see this. Like, I'll obviously I can't put it in a YouTube video because it's 30 minutes of me getting my ass kicked. And there's one time it was just like, oh, I'm gonna get a perfect on you for 2 rounds. There's nothing you can do. Like, it was that cheap, dude. I will say, like, this game, I think like the fighting game community calls it like Neo Geo disease, where it's like if the Neo Geo wants to take your quarter and it's gonna win, it's going to. From my experience, there was a little bit of that in this, but eventually I won. Like, I beat the arcade mode. It was fine. But there was times where I was like, man, like, I whipped your ass the first round and you're going to come back down 2 rounds and just totally destroy me. And you are absolutely right about the blocking. Like, this game is pretty block heavy because the combos are so easy to pull off. It wants you to be like, stop him, like, do something, block. So you've got to learn that also. And the computer's able to do it, obviously. So you can too. So, I mean, there is balance. I do like how simple the controls are also. I will say that's my favorite thing about this game, honestly. Like, there's 6 button presses. You have blocks Y, X is punch, B's kick, A's kick, B's beast mode, black's hyper beast, and then you hold the Y button or double tap the Y button to throw. Like, that's all there really is to it. So pulling off the moves and stuff's not difficult at all. You don't have to like swoop the direction pads. You don't have to like hold multiple button presses or go back 3 times and right once and then pause 5 seconds. Like, the moves were really easy to pull off. Like, I really appreciated the control scheme for this game, and it was fully customizable. Like, you can change any of the buttons to whatever the fuck you wanted to make it fit your fighter, like your style. So that was awesome. Like, not a lot of games do that.
Oh no, it was it was a surprisingly easy fighting game.
You're just good, bro.
So I was curious.
Yeah, man. But there's some characters like I absolutely fucking destroyed with. Like, we talked about it already. Like the cat girl. What was her name? God damn it.
So I did not play the mole. I did not play the chameleon, and there was one more I did not play. Oh, Alice. That's who it was.
Oh, the rabbit.
So Alice the rabbit. Bakuru. The mole guy, ninja guy.
Yeah.
I didn't play him. And then the Batsuzima chameleon, I didn't play as those. But from the ones that I did play, I liked the cat girl. I think her combos were really good. I liked her. And then Long, the tiger, I liked him a lot as well. I ended up beating the arcade mode with Gato, who's the lion guy.
Oh, nice. And
then I went and tried survival mode with Kronos. I think he's got a really good combo set too.
Oh, yeah.
Sheena, I couldn't do it. Sheena was dookie.
The leopard, yeah. That looks like a totally, she looks like the Cheetah Man from like the shitty NES game. She totally looks like that. She's got like the gi and shit. But she did crack me up though, because she's clearly inspired by like Japanese wrestlers or something. So like, there's a great like legend called Okada in Japan. He does like this drop kick that's like devastating, and that's like one of her special kicks. And she also does his like pile driver. So I'm like, this is clearly like the devs knew what they were doing here. But yeah, she was.
Yeah, there was a couple that were surprisingly similar, like Sheena the leopard, and then Yugo the wolf, and Gato the lion were all very similar in like their move sets. There wasn't a lot of variety between the two, in my opinion. I was just like, oh, okay, Yugo is kind of the same as like Yugo and Gato actually have the same throw move where they bite and they grab and then they shake you left and right. Yeah. They both have the exact same move.
There was a couple of the big cats that did that shit. Like even the leopard does that. I'm like, the leopard's not even strong enough to do that shit, man. They skinny.
But like with Sheena, it was cool because you could like run across and do like a diving spear, which I thought was kind of cool with like the cat thing. And then like a lot of the faster characters were like the cats, except Gato. He was not like super fast, but he punched like a truck.
I thought some of the variety was good on the characters, but like you said, there was a couple of them that were very like archetype, right? Like you've got your big, slow, heavy hitters. You've got some that are like unique, like even Yugo, right? You're talking about him, like he's a boxer, so like a lot of his shit where I was getting like crazy damage and like the fun with him was like counter punching more so than like the lion, because he's got like powerful punches and shit too, right? And like you're saying, some of the moves are exactly the same, but there was enough variety, I think, for a lot of these guys where it was like this felt like a different character. You know what I mean? I think they did a good job of like giving you an option, or even like the way the chameleon guy, like he fights like, I don't know how to describe it, man, like fan punches. Like he does like when you stretch your arm in big circles, like that's how he punches. So he kind of slaps, you know. There's nobody else that fights like that. I thought the character variety was really good.
What's this guy? I don't know how to say this name. Shion?
Oh, the tiger.
No, Shion's the fucking crazy ass twink Dante.
Oh yeah. No, he was fucking awesome, dude.
I don't know what his beast form is supposed to be. It's called the Unborn.
Yeah.
It was badass, dude.
Yeah,
His
dude.
moves were sick, but he just like open palm slapped the fuck out of you.
Yeah, dude.
Like he was just like, and then he'd do some crazy like long arm twirl around, whatever. But it was just like open hand punched her, you know, like.
Yeah. No, he was fun, and he looked like, you ever seen like the Guyver? That's what he reminded me of. I don't know, it's not a fucking animal, but yeah, it was cool, man. I really enjoyed the characters and like picking between them and like trying to find the differences. Yeah, I think
Guyver's a really good description of what this thing looks like. He looks like a robot alien thing, but it's described as a demonic entity.
sure.
So I'm not really sure. The Unborn. It's one of those things also where I'm trying to read the history of some of these characters and been like, what the fuck is this guy?
Right.
But he's supposed to like has the tabula of 1,000 beasts or something.
Okay.
I don't know. He frees the Unborn from a distant dimension. This shit's weird. Sign of the... It contains the disaster of a terrible proportion, the Unborn. The Unborn is a demonic entity from another dimension sealed by the tabula of 1,000 beasts. Once the principal antagonist of the series, Bloody Roar 3, has the aim to bring chaos to the world. Despite not having much power in the real world, it's using Shion, influencing him through power and promise. So it's like a demonic thing that gives him a beast form where he doesn't normally have one. I don't know. But either way, when I was going through the roster, I was like, wolf, tiger, lion, the Unborn. I was like, what is this thing?
Bro, is it like an unwritten law that every fighting game has to have like a demon character or a guy gets possessed or something? I swear.
I think so. Soul Calibur's got one where he gets possessed by a fucking wolf ghost thing. Tekken,
that's like the whole thing. There's like fucking demons and shit. Like, I swear to God, it's an unwritten law at this point. But yeah, overall, the characters, they do seem like varied in their fighting styles. There are some rinse and repeats, and like there's multiple tigers and shit. So I'm not gonna sit there and say like every single character is completely different. But like it's serviceable, and there's a good amount of characters from the jump that you can pick from. So there's unlockable ones. Like, I think they did a really good job with that. And then another thing that this game does, since it is a 3D fighter, the stages are interactive. So you can like break through walls and get ring outs and things like that. The floor can break if you slam them in certain stages.
I did find that interesting that they took advantage of it when they moved to the Xbox, because it was able to do that,
right,
like to break through stages and stuff. So that was something that they like prioritized, and it was cool.
Yeah,
like there was a couple times where you go into beast form and you can like blast them across with like a shockwave, and they'd hit the fence, and you could tell like the fence, like I don't know if you hit it hard enough or if you hit it too many times, like you could bust through. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to see like if I could try and bust people through the walls.
I had a couple really fun ones, man. I had one where it's like the street level, you're fighting on the bridge, and like you kick them through the guardrail, and a fucking car runs over them. And I was like, oh my God. And then like the high-rise level, you're fighting on top of the skyscraper at night. It sucks because I didn't do it like in the game, but like the final hit, I kicked him through the wall, and he just went flying off the rooftop like straight down, like clearly dead.
That's funny. Yeah, there was the one where you're on like the bridge or something like that, and you bust through the floor and go down to like the lower level.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple times I got pile drove down through the floor, and I was like, oh, okay.
I love it when fighting games do that, man. I'll say I don't think it's like on par as like Dead or Alive 3, where it's like there's a long scene where you're flying through the air, rolling out of windows and shit. But like the transitions are fun and it keeps it fresh. Like I like the transforming stages, man. Like that was a cool little touch that I didn't know was in this game.
Yeah, I always like transforming stages. I think they're really cool.
There is something else about this game I want to point out, which might contend to our collectability side of things. But there's no way to like look up a moveset for this game unless you have the manual. Like you can't go into training mode and like pull it up. You can't pause the game and pull it up, which is really weird because there's no arcade port for this game. So you think it would be like, we need to add the moveset, you know, like to the pause menu, like every other fucking fighting game. But like you have to have the manual to look these up. Like kind of sucks. That was kind of a knock for me, honestly. That's like the best part of fighting games is pulling off the crazy moves and shit.
I didn't try training mode. Was there something in there where you could do that?
Yeah, so I tried it. That was my first thought, was like, well, if it's not when you pause the game, maybe I have to go to training mode. But there's nothing. Like it doesn't show you any movesets. It shows you like your buttons, like what does punch and what does kick and shit. But again, we talked about it earlier. You can just change that to whatever, so it doesn't really help me, you know? That was a big sore spot for me because like, especially if you're trying to get new players and shit, and you made the button inputs easier, you'd think you'd be like, this is how easy it is to do. Check this out. But nope. Make sure you got a manual.
Yeah, I wonder if it was... I wonder why they wouldn't have put like a moveset in there. I don't know if it was the idea of like, we're not going to put it in so you guys can like learn organically like how to play this, or maybe just be like, the game is so easy you don't need to like fucking study.
Yeah.
You know, but...
Yeah, man, it's funny we had such a different experience because there's times where I just got my shit rocked and I was like, let me pause this for a minute. Let me go get some water or get a drink or something to eat.
I mean, I am the reigning Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet champion.
It's true.
Of the Bryan Casa, so, man. Undefeated.
Yeah, I'm no like fighting game expert here, so if there's like more
I'm not either.
Yeah, if there's more delicacies to like the fighting system that I'm not mentioning, like sorry man, I do think this is a really fun game just to like pick up and play. I would have loved to play the versus mode because like the accessibility of this game I think is a really strong suit for it. I feel like anybody could, if I just gave this controller to Sherry and was like, here, you know, this does punch, this does kick, she could be able to pick it up and we'd have some good fights, you know. I think that was something that they strived to do during development, was like make it accessible, and I think they knocked that out of the park, man. Like I have a couple characters where I was pulling off like 14 hit moves and shit, and I was like, okay, I see this. This is fun.
Yeah, there's the I guess like with extreme specifically, like they changed a couple like bugs and stuff within the gameplay, like combat. So there's like a slight, like there's cancel points and other actual like things that are a bit more specific inside of the combat, other than just like the combat is easy. Don't get me wrong. Like it's not like you have to do some crazy left, down, right, swoop, X, B, up, and then you get to do a move, you know?
Yeah.
At least as far as I'm aware, because there was some stuff where I could find out like, oh, I could do, you know, down and back with a kick and it does something a little bit different. But it is interesting that once you go into a beast form, you gain a whole other level of like the actual fighting mode. Like you get extra moves and you get like the damage is higher, the health regeneration, like you said, the cancel points, like some of them have extra abilities, like the rabbit can jump way higher, and some of them like have claw attacks or whatnot. So it is cool that they've changed, and even like going from beast to like hyper beast is even like there's more stuff to do inside of that one also. So it's cool that they've added other levels to like doing it, and that's why I mean like taking a little bit of a health hit to go to hyper beast mode when I get a higher damage output and possible health regeneration if I don't want to go hyper, and I get damage taken that recovers faster in hyper beast. Like, why would I not just instantly do that?
Yeah, and it stops the clock when you're hyper beast. So if it's like late in the game and you're losing, just hyper beast. Maybe you'll get your health back. Maybe you'll win. You know.
So it does add a little bit more. I want to say it's a little more gimmicky. Like if you're not into gimmicky fighting games, this probably isn't one that you'll like very much.
Yeah.
This one is a lot more accessible to kind of a more casual audience, in my opinion. Like this is not the kind of game where if you want to get into the nitty gritty of the combat and like some crazy shit, like especially some of the new stuff that we have now. Obviously, this is Xbox, but you know how games develop. But
right.
It's not as tight as something like Street Fighter, where something like Street Fighter or King of Fighters, especially in this kind of era, like it's a lot of technical skills because you don't have special transformations that do extra shit, you know. This is not a technical skill fighting game.
No.
So this is this is a fun, you get to pick it up, transform into a fucking lion and beat people.
Yeah. I mean,
that's really what this game is.
That's kind of what they went for. So like mission accomplished, man. I think the game's fun. I think it is like the perfect, like if someone's like, hey, what's a original Xbox fighting game that we could play, I'd pick this one off the shelf in a heartbeat and be like, because you can just pick it up and play it, bro. Like, just push shit, you'll figure it out.
It's interesting that this game didn't do well, but I can see why, because it's not a fighting game that's catered to people who like fighting games.
Yeah.
It's a fighting game for like really anybody to pick up and play, but people aren't just going to casually pick up and play a fighting game just because we have that preconceived notion of how fighting games work. It's like fighting games are like get good, bitch, you know. Like you're gonna get your ass beat and that's just how it's gonna be, because that's just always how Tekken and Street Fighter and Fatal Fury, all of those have always been.
Right.
So it's harder to sell something. And you know, you've got something like, when did Soul Calibur come out? Like you've got Soul Calibur that's like trying to draw people in with guest characters and stuff.
Right.
So, and that one's an accessible game. There is a lot of technical stuff inside of Soul Calibur, but it's not as much as other ones. It's still a little bit more difficult, in my opinion, than Bloody Roar. But also, like, why would you buy Bloody Roar on Xbox when you have all these other options? Even as a casual fighting game person, like, it's not just the first one you'd go for.
Yeah, when Dead or Alive 3 was a launch title.
Yeah. So...
yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the sound and the music. Alright, so the music for this game is actually kind of interesting. I know I'm going to butcher this gentleman's name because my Japanese is horrible, so apologies in advance. But the composer for this game is Hiromichi Furuya. Some of the other things he worked on as far as being a sound programmer was Ys 4, Dawn of Ys, which is pretty awesome.
Dope.
World Heroes 2, which I fucking love World Heroes, another fighting game that's super fun. Vertical Force, who is a sound curator, Bomberman 64, the second act, he was the music operator on that. And then obviously with the Hudson Soft connection, he is the sound director for Mario Party 3, which everybody loves the Mario Party soundtrack, so that's pretty awesome. The only one that he actually did the composition for, looks like, according to VGMDB, was Bloody Roar Primal Fury. And, you know, Extreme uses the same music as Primal Fury. So this is the only thing he was like a full composer on. And according to this website, this is the last thing he worked on. So I don't know if he like took a different career path or if he did like that. I feel like we talk about it every episode with this. That's just something they don't research very much with these older games. These, you know, some of these credits just get like, do your job and that's it. You know, it sucks. It's unfortunate. But overall, what'd you think of the music for this game?
I liked the music a lot. I don't know, like fighting games, you don't want slow music.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly to say about the music other than it was good. You get me some slick guitar riffs on a fighting game and like I'm there to punch people in the face.
Right.
So I really liked the music.
Yeah, dude, it's funny you mentioned the slick guitar riffs because like there was one song in particular for like the construction yard where it's like normal, like upbeat fighting game music, and then a dude starts like going ham on a guitar, and all I thought of was like Lethal Weapon, where it's like there's saxophones and shit, and then there's a dude just like on a guitar. Yeah, dude, it's got some of that. It's all like you're saying, very upbeat and fast music. Like it's very thematic and very appropriate. There was one song I really did like, the Midnight Rooftop level, like the one you're fighting on top of the building with the glass floor. Like it's kind of jazzy and shit. It's got the saxophones. I think that was probably my favorite track. It was just kind of honestly a nice change of pace from like the rest of the music. You know, the environment was completely different because it was at nighttime and like you get the stars and shit. It was cool, man. I think the game's music, it's good. It's not something that where it's like, oh, this shit absolutely fucking slaps, but like he did a serviceable job, man. Like it's good. It fits the themes. There wasn't anywhere I was like, well, what the fuck is this? You know, like this doesn't fit at all. Even like the elephant guy level, it sounds very like Indian temple theme, you know. Everything's very appropriate, I would say. The final boss with like the dudes being experimental on the tubes and shit behind you, it's like very sci-fi, beep boop, beep boop. Everything fits thematically. I don't want to knock it. It doesn't sound like a knock. It is a little like, I don't want to say generic. Generic's too harsh. It's like tropey. It's fighting game trope music, I guess, is the best way I can say it. It does its job. It's very serviceable. But memorable is a different question. I had like the one theme that I liked with the saxophone just because it stood out. Like that's the only one that was memorable. It was very just kind of there sometimes. Not bad, but just kind of generic, you know, which kind of the going thing for this game, man.
I do like the sound effects for the animals are really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of them.
Yeah, all the roars were like girthy and like deep and like roarous, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's funny because the contrast of like the higher characters, like the bat girl and the cat girl, it's like such a contrast when you're fighting this like roar, like screaming fucking tiger. Then you hear like meow. That shit was funny every time with the cat girl when you did like the jump over them, like when you literally flipped sides or whatever, like that. It's so fucking funny, dude. But yeah, the animals sound awesome. I think that's important too, being like the main gimmick of the game. Like you want that shit to sound well, and it stands out. Like the animal noises definitely stand out more than anything.
Yeah, I think the sound effects and the music were good thematically. The announcer's voice was really good too.
Yeah.
Sometimes the announcers are fucking annoying in fighting games, but I did not find him annoying in this one.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You, especially like if you lose like a frustrating fight and he starts being like, KO, you're just like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, no, he was cool in this. He wasn't ridiculous. The voice acting too, there wasn't a lot of it, but like there's times they would talk shit after you won or whatever. Like it serviceable. It's very appropriate for the time.
Well, what if I told you the voice actor for the bunny girl was Jennifer Hale?
No shit. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Damn, I have to go back and listen now. I didn't recognize her. Usually she's easy to pick out because she's, you know.
You gotta get Jennifer Hale to sign your fucking bloody roar,
dude,
bro.
I fucked up and got her to sign Mass Effect 3, God damn it, with a Fib Shop cover. Fucked up. I gotta take this in. Damn. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, she's a sweetheart, dude. I love to meet her again, and I will bring her this. That's so fucking funny. Because I guarantee you it's the only one she's ever signed.
Does the booklet have like their like
the credits?
Like, do they have a page? No. Does the manual have like a page per character?
Just for movesets. Let me double check real quick. Hang on, it's across the table. I gotta get up.
Like if you open it up and you're like, oh, this character, and they got a little picture of them and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's just the movesets. Let me look. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just like their super moves or whatever.
It's fucking lame.
Damn it. It'd be so sick if it was like voiced by.
Yeah. She's the one. Alice is voiced by different people in the other games, but she voices Alice in this one. Which is very funny. I'm
checking the special thanks to see if there's anybody in there. Nope. Damn it. There's a special thanks to Mammy, all caps, MAMMY.
Well, I think you're going to have to get the Brady Games guide and get the one where it's a full page.
Yeah, bro.
Full 2 pages.
I got to know about these characters, man, especially because we're going to have to single-handedly convince Konami to bring it back.
I know, right?
Hopefully they hear this podcast. We need to just tweet it at them. Fuck it. Like, you
Honestly,
don't like money, dude?
Persona Fury, bro. TM.
Oh my god, so good.
I'll sell you the name right now for a flat time fee, okay? I won't even ask for royalties.
That's right. Not greedy. Just sponsor the podcast.
I'll take that.
Yeah, dude. Brought to you
Sponsored by Konami.
Yeah, every episode. All right, let's get on with it and get to the point, right? Let's ask the ultimate question.
Did we go over graphics?
Did I skip it?
You didn't do graphics.
Oh, I skipped it. Oh my god. Let's talk about the graphics. All right, so for the graphics for this game, how did you feel about the graphics, Barry?
I actually liked it a lot. I thought the CG cutscenes were a fucking dog shit, so, you know, I hated it. The intro one was so bad. It was so bad, dude. But, like, the actual character models, I really liked the character models. I thought they moved really well. The animations were really good on them. They weren't, like, stiff or they weren't goofy looking. Even when they're transforming into anthropomorphic, like, fucking, you know, wolves or whatever, like, the movement on them was really good. Like, big old Beetleborg. Like, I don't know, man. I really like the graphics on this game. I was really impressed by it.
Yeah, honestly, the same. All the characters are great, and they actually did redo the sprites and stuff because a lot of them were based on, like, the Bloody Roar 3 characters, but they kind of, like, sweetened them up and made them look cooler and shit with the power of the Xbox. But, yeah, dude, they're all unique looking. There is, like, a couple of the, like, hey, this guy's a tiger and this guy's a tiger, but you can tell the difference between them. Like, the actual human forms look completely fucking different, you know? And even the tiger is, like, you know, you can tell it's a tiger, sure, but it's a different looking tiger. And like you're saying,
you got a regular tiger and you got a blue tiger.
Right.
And they're rivals.
But there's a bunch of shit that, like, moves on them. Like, if they have flowing clothes, the clothes are going to, like, move. Yeah,
Shenlong was really cool because, like, when he was one of the tigers. And when he turned into his beast form, he turned into a blue tiger. And he's wearing this, like, purple... it's almost like a... What are those things where it's like a little loose light jacket?
Yeah.
But it's not a jacket.
I don't know what they're actually called, but I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
It starts with a C. And I'm
not a fashion guy.
It in my brain
hoodies
right now.
Hoodies and basketball shorts everywhere, bro. So I'm the wrong one to ask.
But he's wearing, like, a little light over shirt that opens up in the front that's purple, and when he goes into his beast form, like, when they transform into their beast forms, like, parts of their clothes, like, shred because they get bigger. And you can see, like, where, like the Yugo's, like, shoes are gone in the lower part of his pants, or he's got his shorts on, but his shoes are gone, and then his sleeves that have the flames on them kind of burst off, but you can see a little bit of the flames on the top still. So Shenlong, when he transforms into the tiger, the shirt gets blown off, but it, like, the sleeves kind of stay, and they tie around his arms, and so it has, like, this, like, when he fights, there's, like, streaks of purple that are, like, big ribbons on his arms, which is really cool. So you've got, like, a whole, like, outfit change almost when they go into their beast. It's not just like a human that turns into, like, an animal that doesn't have clothes on. Like, they've adjusted all of the character model clothing to, like, what would happen if you did turn into a tiger.
Right.
Oh, your shirt rips off, but it's kind of cool that we've, like, kept the sleeve parts. So
it's very, like, Incredible Hulk. Like, yeah, the pants stretch, but, like, the shirt's gonna get ripped and tathered, you know.
Like, some of them I'm like, okay, your pants somehow expanded. Most of the time their sleeves get ripped off, and their, like, shoes get blown off because they got big old, like, paw feet and stuff. Jenny's is completely fucking crazy. She turns into a bat, loses all of her clothes.
Yeah, she's like a sexy bat lady, you know.
Yeah, I don't know where the black, like,
The fuzz
stuff I don't know where it comes from. I think that's just her character. Like the clothing that she's wearing is completely gone.
You mean there's scantily dressed women again? And check the fighting game tropes checkbox, bro. Like we've got them all here.
Or like what's interesting is Long, who's the other tiger. His character, he has these pants that has like a, oh, what are they called? The little panels that go in front, like in between the legs. It's not like a loincloth, but it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like the Kung Fu outfit. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, so he has one in the front and he has one in the back, and when he transforms into a tiger, the one in the back actually rips down the center, so his tail can fit through it. So the front one stays normal, but the back one has a big, long, like, tear down the center, and his tail pops up in between it. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, there's just little parts about the character model adjustments, like, as they're fighting that I think is really nice.
I like
to kind of see.
Yuriko, the half beast too. She's got like really long sleeves when you're fighting, like because she's a little kid, she can't fill out the sleeves. And when she turns into the cat girl, she gets like the big paws, and then the sleeves magically fit, and it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That is a nice little touch.
Yeah, there's some really cool, fun stuff that happens with the character outfits. Some of them just completely transform, like fucking demon dude or whatever.
Just turns into the Guyver.
I love Kronos when he goes into a penguin. He's got the little yellow like raincoat on still.
Yeah.
He's got like a little itty bitty raincoat. So the graphics, I really enjoyed the graphics in this game.
Same,
like this
man.
is probably one of the most fun looking fighting games that I've played.
It stands out for sure. If you saw this thing next to like a Mortal Kombat, you'd be like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Especially when they are like beast mode. I love the chameleon personally just because I love reptiles. They're like one of my favorite things on the planet.
He's goofy looking.
He's goofy as shit, and he's fucking huge, bro. Like, it's so nuts. Like, he is just gigantic, and he has like a crest and shit, and his eyes move, so like the idle animation, like before you start the round or whatever, his eyes will start looking different directions and shit like chameleons do. It's so fun, man. Like, this game is just fun as shit to look at. Like, I loved it, man. I thought it ran really smooth too. It may not be like, Dead or Alive 3 smooth, but like it runs really fucking smooth, man. It doesn't slow down. There's a bunch of shit on the screen. There's a bunch of like power effects, like when you do the match, like if you both throw a punch, you do you both throw the same attack or whatever, like sparks and shit will fly up, and like, I guess like plasma, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just like colored bullshit everywhere. When you do the hyper moves, there's like lightning and shit. It doesn't really slow down. Like, it runs and performs really, really well. And even like the backgrounds and environments, right? Like the night level with the saxophone music, I like the elevators are moving and shit. There's cars moving. We already talked about the destructible environments. I think the graphics are a high point for this game for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, just a huge knock on their choice to do CG for the cinematics, because they were fucking terrible. Like, the original Primal Fury had so much better cutscenes.
That anime cutscene was badass. And then like, I don't think it doesn't look like a horrible 64, but it's not good looking. Like, no matter how you slice it, some of this shit just doesn't age well. And like, animated art is always going to age better than CG shit. It's just a fact of life, man. I'm
just thinking of the clip of Yugo driving the motorcycle was the goofiest thing. And then the clip of Alice, I think it was Alice, walking on the beach.
Yeah.
But dude, that character model in the CG looked so bad.
It's so stiff how she walks too, taking like weird floating steps. Yeah. The animation looks great too, so it's like, what the fuck?
Or somebody was on a plane, and when it panned out to the plane, it was like just like straight up Play-Doh. Yeah. It was Play-Doh. It was terrible. It was so bad. That
was definitely a choice, man. Like, I get they're trying to show off the graphics and stuff, but like, that animated intro was beautiful, dude. Like, for real. Check it out. Like, it's awesome.
They were just like, oh, we have the power. We have the power of the Xbox can let us do CG cutscenes. And I'm like, just because you have the power doesn't mean you should.
Right.
Because it was terrible.
Yeah, man.
It was awful.
That's definitely that was a choice, is what we say. That was a choice.
It was a choice for sure.
Well, you wanna talk about the name of the show? I want to talk about the price and collectability, and let's ask, is it worth it? Let's cover some ground here. So, Bloody Roar Primal Fury for the GameCube sold 180,000 copies around the world. Like, not horrible, not bad. The reason why I bring that up is because Bloody Roar Extreme for the Xbox, this is not a typo, sold 40,000 copies. Bro, that's estimated, right? It's fucking nothing, man. Like, for context, we talked about probably the lowest print game we've done for the podcast is Rule of Rose, right? It was estimated 20. So, like, 20,000 more ain't shit, bro. Like, this thing might be low print, or there's just, like, a warehouse somewhere full of Bloody Roar Extremes that are all sealed, you know? I don't know, man. That's a pretty crazy, staggering stat. As far as, like, critical acclaim for this game, kind of got mixed reviews. Mainly pointing to, like, hey, this game's fine, but, like, look what else is on the Xbox. I think we briefly touched on it earlier, right? Like, you got Soul Calibur 2, Dead or Alive 3, you know, big fighting games here. So, like, people were like, this game's fine and all, but, like, why would you pick this when there's literally, you know, multiple bangers? And, you know, Dead or Alive 3 was an Xbox exclusive also. Why wouldn't you pick that up? So that was kind of like the talking point for this game. As far as what it costs to get a copy of this game, I will say, when I first picked this game earlier in the year, it was like $75, $80. Kind of fluctuates a lot, man. It's a weird one, and I don't know if, like, people are starting to, like, realize, like, you know, this game's, like, uncommon, because it took me a long time to find my copy, honestly. And I remember, like, one of the reasons why I like collecting for the original Xbox is because of how affordable the games are, right? I remember I picked this up for $20 and it was kind of shitty. I was like, I don't want to pay this much for the original Xbox game. Like, this is kind of wild, but now this game's pushing, like, the last couple sold are weird, man, but there's a couple out there that have broken that $100 mark. And for original Xbox game, you might as well be talking $1 million, bro, because there's not a ton of original Xbox games that are that valuable, you know? It's one of the selling points collecting points for the console that I love. But there's 3 when you first scroll the first page on eBay that broke that $100 mark. On average, though, it looks like people are sniping them for like 65 to 70. There's some like 85 to 90. Looks like 75, 76 is about like the average. And then you're going to get a couple 80s here and there. But this game's kind of, I don't want to say climbing, but I feel like it does move between that 75 to it's peaking at $100 range, which for an original Xbox game, absolutely wild. That price point. And then when you compare it to the GameCube version, Primal Fury, it's significantly cheaper, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what's? It's just interesting because I'm looking. I don't understand, like, why it's rating so much. Okay, so I'm looking at Metacritic, right? Mm-hmm. And I see Bloody Roar Primal Fury, but they don't have Extreme. But when you go under Primal Fury, you can see reviews for both the Xbox and the GameCube. So, you know, the Xbox has a mixed or average Metascore. It's a 61. And then the GameCube one is a 75, which is a huge jump.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is I'm seeing that the Primal Fury came out on GameCube first, and Game Informer gave it an 80. Okay? And then Extreme comes out on the Xbox, and Game Informer gave it a 65.
The fuck?
So I can see the review from one of them, but the other one, the data's not there. Like, they just don't have it on the website anymore. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, why? You know?
Yeah.
Like, why is there such a huge difference between you guys saying it's a great game on the GameCube and it's a bad game on the Xbox? Like, it's the same fucking game.
You know what sucks too? Because On the wiki,
IGN did the same thing.
Yep.
They gave it a little bit less on the Xbox.
I don't get it, man. It's funny because I was looking at like the wiki and stuff, and they were talking about Famitsu. They did the same thing. I'm sorry, GameSpot. They did the same thing, and they straight up in their review was like, "There's better options available," but you're not judging it against better options. Like, you should be judging it standalone on what the game is. You know what I mean? Especially when you reviewed it on a console a year ago. Like, it's a better version of that game, but it's scoring lower. I don't understand.
Like GameSpot for the, it was a 72 versus a 65. And they're like, isn't exactly a fresh take on fighting games, but it looks good and it controls well enough. Like, what do you mean it's not a fresh take on fighting games? They transform into fucking personas.
You're right. Well, it's interesting too, because the argument that like, oh, there's better fighters on Xbox, I get that argument, but like, you had Super Smash Bros. Melee on GameCube, you had Soul Calibur 2 on GameCube, like, someone help me out here.
I don't really agree with like, I don't agree. It's the same game, but it was re-released on the other console with some improvements and then a CG change, but everything else is the same. It's not like they changed the move sets or the stages or the characters. Like, you actually got some unlockables like already. So it's like, why is all of a sudden it much a worse game? It's not a worse game because there's just other options on the Xbox. Like, yeah, sure, Dead or Alive is not available on the GameCube. Yeah. But you can't sit there and be like, well, Bloody Roar is not good because Dead or Alive is available, but it is good on GameCube because Dead or Alive's not available. I'm like, that's just late. That's so fucking lazy. I hate that shit.
Same, dude. At that point, why don't you just say, well, Halo's on Xbox. Why are you playing anything other than fucking Halo?
Right. Like, why would you play any other shooter other than Halo? Everything must be a 65
any
in
other
comparison
game, bro.
to Halo.
Any other game. Why would you play any other game other than Halo?
It's the same exact mentality of now, well, it's not Dark Souls, so it's bad.
Yep.
So it's like, that's just completely unfair to the game. Like, you're not playing the game, and I understand it's hard to like play a game and review it unbiasedly, but also if you're going to be a part of an official like news reporting service or a review service or like an official accredited review like company, you need to play your games unbiased as possible.
Yeah.
Play your fucking Bloody Roar, critique everything that's currently there, not versus the old or versus something else. Like, you review the game that's in front of you. It's like, this isn't a competition, right? It's different if you're in a competition where you're in an art competition, right? And you've got 20 entries to look at, and you need to say who's the best and who's the worst, and you do have to compare them all together. You can't look at one piece and say that piece is the best when you've got the whole lot to look at, right? But if you're saying, oh, I'm just giving my opinion about this one piece outside of the context of a competition, you're just looking at that one art piece. You're not comparing it to anything else.
Right.
So, like, why are we doing that for Bloody Roar and comparing it to everything else when you should just be saying, how is this game standalone?
Right. Imagine what a foreign concept, bro. It's so funny, though, because, like, back then was, like, the middle of the shit of this generation console wars, right? But, like, I get, if you're writing an article and shit, you're going to want people, but back then it wasn't even articles. It was, like, actual magazines. You want people to read it and shit and bicker and talk. Like, that's what gets you your clicks and your reads or whatever. But, man, like, you're not reviewing the other games. Now, if your article was, like, my favorite of these 3 fighting games, that would make sense to me. But sitting here and being like, this game sucks because there's better options, it's bullshit. I actually really enjoyed this game quite a bit, more than I thought I would.
And there's a lot of times where, like, sure, I'm going to say, like our last episode where we talked about Harvest Moon, I was like, there is a better Harvest Moon game to play, so is this one really worth picking up? But it's not necessarily in context of Harvest Moon being a bad game. Exactly. It's how much money you're spending.
Exactly.
If you're spending money on Bloody Roar for $80, is what you get in the game really worth that, or comparatively, are you better spending your money on something else? But regardless of of the scenario, like, Bloody Roar Extreme was a great game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and be like Dead or Alive 3 was a better game or it was a worse game. Like, we're just talking about Bloody Roar.
Exactly.
So self-contained is Bloody Roar worth fucking $80.
Yeah, and for clarity also, this is the most expensive Bloody Roar game in the whole franchise.
It is.
Bloody Roar 4 is creeping up and getting ready to catch it. But, honestly, as like a collectible, I think this has some things going for it. Xbox exclusive. It's regarded, the GameCube one's like a beloved game in the series. I don't know, this one's like a better version. I'm not really sure why critically it did worse. Bloody Roar 4, I know in the community people were kind of like, I'd rather play 3. So I think this might be one of the better Bloody Roar games, like as far as the community is concerned also. And again, I don't see a lot of people talk about this game. Like, this is a game you could easily just go to a game store and like, people don't know shit about the original Xbox, man. It's not like on that same level as a PS2. Like, you could easily find this game for cheap. Like, there's people sniping this thing for $50-$60, like all fucking day at that price, honestly. Like, I had a blast with this. This would be a game, like if someone comes over and they're like, let's play something, I would pull this one off my shelf in a heartbeat. Like, this is a good, like, let's just have a couple beers and beat each other up type of game. And it's unique. Like, yeah, it's got a gimmick or whatever, but everybody's played Tekken, everybody's played Mortal Kombat, like, this is something that's like, hey, if you ever fucked with Bloody Roar, like, let's check this shit out. I like this game a lot, man. I'm really comfortable at like that $60 price for this being worth it. And who knows, if we get another Bloody Roar, which honestly, personally, I don't think it's ever going to happen. But if we do, I think this is the one that's going to jump up because it's, plays the best, looks the best compared to the GameCube. I know GameCube, like, people cheese over that because of the collectability of it, and just like having a clean GameCube copy is one thing. But I don't know, man. I feel really good at like $50-$60. 80 to 100 though, that's kind of a different question,
I mean, it is like, there is a price difference between Primal Fury and Extreme. Like, one, like, if we're going to compare this to anything, it's going to be the other version. And if you're looking at them side by side, like, Extreme technically is a better game. It plays better. It looks better. It runs better. You have 2 characters immediately available that are locked behind a wall in Primal Fury, and they've added a new character. So there's not so much new content or new modes or whatever that are a huge difference between Primal Fury and Extreme, but Extreme does have a whole other character. So it's like, is the whole other character worth an extra $30?
Yeah.
Is the whole extra character worth an extra $30? And maybe the better graphics, or it runs a little bit better smooth, because, like, look, we're gonna be honest, the GameCube, it's not no powerhouse of a console.
No.
It doesn't have 720p. The Xbox does.
Honestly, I hooked this thing up to my big modern TV with like the converter, and it looked fucking great, man. I was like, God damn, original Xbox looks so fucking pretty. It's a great looking
game.
It is, man, and it stands out and it looks different. Like, I really like this game. And going down the chart, if we're skipping over like collector's editions or weird variant bullshit, this is like the 12th most expensive original Xbox game at the moment of this recording. So you got shit like that Curse Eye of Isis horror game, Digimon Rumble Arena 2, Def Jam Fight for New York, like everything in that range. So there's some like heavy hitters for the OG Xbox. This is right up there with all those. And this is one, honestly, once people play and see and kind of realize how cool this game is, like one YouTuber other than us, does a video on this, I could see this game jumping up a little bit and kind of clearing that 100 consistency. So like, I'm going to go ahead and say it, man. If you find this game for an affordable price, buy it. I'm not your financial advisor, so don't come at me if it blows up in my face. But I think this one does have a lot of things working for it. Like, I would say, yeah, I don't really love the $80 price, man. But like 60, I'd say, yeah, dude, if you can snipe it, be patient.
Well, okay, look at it this way, though. Let's take out all of the... Okay, if you look at the Xbox library, and you go from top to bottom, expensive to least expensive, you're a little bit further down in comparison, right? But let's take out things that are available on another console.
Yeah.
Right? Take out Futurama.
Yep.
Take out Outrun.
Def Jam.
Or is Outrun exclusive?
Outrun Coast to Coast is on PS2 because I got rid of my PS2.
That's what I thought. Yep. Okay. Take out Batman, because I'm pretty sure Batman isn't available on another console.
That's a figure variant. That's the only reason why that one's expensive, yeah.
Both of them?
My app says Batman, Batgirl, Rise.
Oh, they're both figure based. Okay, don't worry about Batman then. Take out the Gaia game. Take out Teen Titans.
Halo triple packs $150. What the fuck? When did that happen?
There's Obscure, I believe, is the
It's
exclusive.
on PS2, I think, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Let me check. Obscure. Okay, take it out. It's on PlayStation 2.
Yep. Otogi 2 is
all
an
right,
exclusive.
first one available. Otogi 2 is exclusive. So you have Steel Battalion, Spike Out, which I'm pretty sure, Spike Out is exclusive.
Yep.
Steel Battalion, Spike Out, Otogi, and then Bloody Roar.
Yeah.
That's the fourth most expensive exclusive Xbox game.
Yeah, that's pretty wild when you put it in the... And that's the thing, it's like an exclusive for under 100 at the moment for a good game too. I don't know, man. I like this one. I really do. People sleep on the original Xbox. I think this one's got a little bit of room to grow. This is a for me, honestly. Especially if you can get
I don't mind the
range.
$80 price point. I don't mind it. No, I don't. I mean, we have to consider factors. It is a port of the game on the other console, but it's not just a straight port. It has extra shit, right? As much as they change the cutscenes and they look like Dookie, like they have completely full done CG cutscenes. They've added a whole new character. They've gave you extra stuff out the gate to play as the two characters. Like, it's not just like, oh, here's the game on the other one. Like, it's not that it's not the conversation between like which Futurama. They're the exact same on both. You know?
Right.
This one does have extra shit on the Xbox. This version is exclusive to the Xbox. Like, yeah, if you want to play the game, it is available on GameCube, but you can't play as Uranus. Period.
Yep.
That's the only way to play as her. I will say this game does not emulate well.
Oh, yeah.
I tried it. Okay. I tried everything in my power to get this work on XMU, or however people want to pronounce that emulator. I like to call it Zemu, but that's just me.
Sounds like a fucking Bloody Roar character.
Emulation on Xbox and PlayStation 2 and newer is quite difficult because it's very demanding on your CPU. I couldn't get this thing to play outside of slow-mo mode. It was slow-mo mode the 24/7.
Damn.
Like, it did work. I didn't have like screen tearing or anything weird happen other than the actual combat was so slow. So it's not the ideal way to play this. It's not, frankly, it's not fun to play it emulated like that.
Yeah.
So if you really want to play this game, you need to play it on the Xbox. Like, you can't emulate this properly, or at least the technology is not here to emulate this properly yet, because they have to do a bunch of weird shit behind the scenes to even get it to work.
Yeah.
So it doesn't emulate properly. It gives you extra shit. It is the fourth most expensive Xbox exclusive title, and it's a great looking fighting game. It's honestly more entertaining than Dead or Alive.
There's things about it for sure, yeah. I think, like, if we're, again, comparing apples and oranges, because they are drastically different fighting games, but...
Oh, yeah.
I had a smile on my face the whole time playing this fucking game. I was laughing and shit, and it's funny because I forgot I left, like, my mic plugged in to record footage. I'm sitting there talking shit. Like, I had a blast playing this, like, going through the footage, listening to myself. Like, it's a fun game, man. Like, it's a unique game. Honestly, you telling me the emulation shit, it's even more of a yes for me now at this point. Like, you got to pay to play has always been my rule of thumb. Like, here you go. Here's a cool Xbox game that I don't feel like a lot of people are looking for because I don't feel like it's out there yet. And like I said...
No, I don't see it very often.
Oh, it took me a long time to find mine. And you know me, Mr. Original Xbox, like, I was looking. And again, like, when I did find it, I was like, $20, man, what the fuck? It's all day at that price. But that's the crazy thing with original Xbox. Like, you can still get deals on the original Xbox. People just don't fucking know and or care. So, like, this one's a for me, especially after the emulation talk. Like, this is why we here, boys. We here to collect games and play games. Like, this is one that a lot of people don't know about, I feel like, that doesn't get the proper rub. So here's me doing my part, putting this into the universe. Bloody Roar Extreme, worth it, from Bryan.
I'll have to record a little bit of the emulated version for the video so you can see what I'm talking about when I say molasses, as Bryan would said. but man, it's just like, you know, I tried, you know, I played it, and you know what, maybe that's why it was easier for me, but even then, like, there is a lag, right? If you're fighting them and you can kind of see like the kick getting wound up and then coming to your head, like you still have to hit that button input at a certain time in order to block it. Otherwise the block doesn't work.
Yeah.
So even with the countdown timer of 1 second taking like 3 seconds, because that's how slow it goes, you still have to put the input button in correctly for it to work. And it's just like, bruh. So it just does not. Some games emulate fine. This one does not. I don't care what Zemu says on their website when it says, it does say playable. It used to say as a perfect. It's not perfect. It is not a perfect status to play on that platform. It's playable. Is it great? Absolutely not. So this is one of those instances where emulation is not the answer. You can't just walk up and be like, I'll just emulate it. You can. You're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, man.
So
there's things that's more and more common with, I think, the prices and stuff where people getting back into collecting are like, oh, fuck this, I'll just emulate it. But like, I was shocked with how smooth this fucking game was. And then the little clip you sent me, I was like, bro, that's not what this game looks like.
Yeah. So I think I would, if this is something that you're considering not buying because you can just emulate it, I would look at it again. I would go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try to emulate it. It's not good. So I tried it on the Steam Deck. I tried it on my PC, which is so much more powerful, and it still like was rough.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's worth it for me.
Hell yeah.
$80. I think that's a good price for an exclusive, the most expensive exclusive Xbox fighting game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Because yeah, even like
where you transform into a wolf and it's the meme.
There's a wolf and there's two wolves in me. Yeah, dude, worth it. Hell yeah, double worth it. I love it, man. Glad to close out the year with a double worth it. Well, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Bloody Roar Extreme is worth it? Let us know in the comments below, or on social media at Collecti-Bros Pod, or in the Discord. Here it is again on the screen. Hey Barry, what's next?
Our next episode is our end of the year wrap up. Our end of the year 2025 Collecti-Bros. The Collecti-Bros in 2025. I don't know what the title is yet, but we're going to talk about everything that happened in the year, everything we played, everything we podcast. All crunched down into a nice little episode.
It's always a fun one. Reminiscing. Well, that about does it. Thank you all for listening. We'll get a real outro someday, but for now, y'all stay oppressed and break that glass ceiling. Gamers, Collecti-Bros out.
I think that is the outro.
It is now until WB sees that shit.
True.
Well, who's gonna?
Bye.
The Saudis are the ones that bought WB, right? Or is it who bought WB? Someone just bought them.
Netflix.
Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. All right, bye.
Bye.